Ik ga aankondigen ons eerste spreker van vandaag. En dan ga ik ondertussen hem host maken, is Pavel. Pavel is heel lang al in de WordPress-industrie en heeft met zijn theme business WPzoom al meer dan 80.000 mensen blij gemaakt met een thema. Hij gaat ons vertellen over hoe je enerzijds je prijzen kan verhogen, terwijl je aan de andere kant tegelijkertijd je klanten tevreden houdt. En de talks duren 15 tot 20 minuten. Vragen stel je in de Q&A-tool van Zoom of in de chat. En ik zal zorgen dat die vragen gemodereerd worden. Ik geef het woord aan jou, Pavel.
Hi, hi everyone. Thanks for making me a host, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the first edition of this experiment. So my name is Pavel Ciorici. I'll try to share my screen now and see how this works. And we'll start my talk. Okay. Okay. So, hello everyone again. My name is again Pavel Ciorici. Today I would like to talk about, my talk is named When it's the right time to raise prices and how to keep your customers happy. So as we know, why do I want to talk about this is because, of course, pricing your product or services at the right value is something important for every business. So using this, we can raise our business, assure that we are going in the right direction. So I would like to share some details, some lessons, some mistakes we had at WPzoom. It's the company which I run, and how we managed all these problems and where we are today. So, okay, it works. So I'm the founder of WPzoom. It's a WordPress company specialized in themes and plugins for WordPress, of course. And I launched it 12 years ago. And I think we're lucky to start this business at the right time, because those were the years when the era of premium themes started. So I was one of the first who started to do these themes, premium themes. And so here we are today, still in business, still doing themes and plugins a little. And we are proud to have more than 80,000 customers from all around the world, including the Netherlands and other 150 countries. We have about 50 themes and plugins in our collection. And we are a small team of 7, remotely distributed. I'm in the Netherlands. The rest of my team members are in different countries. I'm gonna move to the next slide to talk about my talk from today about pricing, and I'll share all my tips with you. It was very common for the theme industry to be very much influenced by the competitors. For example, there were some big players, let's say from the beginning, Themes, Studio Press, and I don't know, they had more experience than the rest of us. For example, when we started doing themes, we didn't have any marketing background, or we kind of neglected these kind of things in a business, because we were good at making themes, where maybe we were good at coding or designing. So of course, we didn't focus too much on marketing, on setting the right price. We were simply a little too much focused on building the right product to make it functional, to put the features, the needed features that we felt that it's important for customers to have. But yeah, in the end, we didn't really think in long term. So after some years, of course, this affected us. So this is like the first mistake. We didn't have any marketing background. Another thing was that we were following too much the competitors. For example, maybe everyone knows that in the beginning, everyone was offering lifetime licenses for support, updates, and yeah, doing this for years resulted in affecting everyone's businesses, because it was hard to grow a business using this kind of pricing model. because you basically give something for free, which you should actually charge like every year maybe, or find something more scalable to help your business grow. So imagine like having offering unlimited website usage for WordPress theme, and also unlimited support. Basically, you are stuck with that customer for lifetime or for as long as your business survives. And this is definitely not a very healthy pricing model. So yeah, we did this mistake as well, especially when this happened in the first years when like it was a boom with premium themes, like the golden age, I don't know how to say, and yeah, the sales were very high. So at that moment, maybe it was possible to benefit somehow and convert those customers in long-term customers which will keep bringing us like revenue every year. But instead, we just made this mistake and offered at a very low price something for a lifetime, and beside offering unlimited support, for example, if for some packages we also gave them the promise that we are going to offer you future products for free. So yeah, I mean, maybe at that time we were attracted like to sell such a package for, let's say, $400, yeah. But yeah, if you look now 10 years ago, I mean, there could be a different way to monetize all this thing. So another mistake, the last one, actually the third one, is that we were focused too much on the product, on features, on general infrastructure around our website and how the business is run. But we didn't really were focused on describing these features to our customers, or maybe on our website to show what the product includes. Maybe, yeah, there were so many features that people were surprised to find out only after purchasing the product. So yeah, we had to work more on our marketing game. And the last one, we didn't pay too much attention to analytics, to running different experiments, like even a simple A/B experiment. I mean, I think many times we started to run this kind of A/B test, but in the end we simply gave away after a few days because we didn't have any passions. So yeah, I mean, we said let's move next. So I want to present you an interesting example from another WordPress company, Easy Digital Downloads. So a few years ago, 2016, I think, they increased the prices significantly by 50 to 250%. So the main idea, the main argument, they did this from Pippin Williamson, which is the founder of Sandhills Development, a company who develops Easy Digital Download, is that they reached a point in their business where they were simply not satisfied with the way, like, I don't know, like everything is handled, like with the amount of support volume. It was all about, he said that it was all about very complicated tickets, which will take them weeks or months to fix. And they simply decided like, yeah, to increase the prices at least by twice or more in order to somehow, yeah, to be more, to reduce maybe the number of customers, or to reduce the costs of the support costs. And if you're looking at this chart, we can see that before making this increase in price, they had much more a higher number of sales, but the revenue was lower than when having less sales after they made this change. So yeah, I mean, in the end, they lost about 25% of the number of sales, and still the profits were much higher than before. And like from their words, it's like they simply attracted customers who shared maybe the same values as them, who will do the homework and before purchasing something will carefully check all the included features without having complaints after that. So in our case, we also, after a few years in business, we started to make some progress in this direction. We started to be more confident about our products. We started to be different, unique. I mean, it was a very big market. It was simply saturated with all kinds of themes. It was hard to compete with big marketplaces like ThemeForest. So we simply try to focus more on how what makes us different than others. Yeah, and we were different because people stayed with us for years. They liked our support. They liked the simplicity of our products, our themes. So we put more accent on these things. Well, first of all, yes, it helped us to increase the prices by having more confidence in our products, and we started to sell more features. As I said, like our support, which can be compared to other marketplaces like other authors from theme forests who disappear after 1 year after taking a lot of money. So yeah, and by valuing our products more, we also understand that it's necessary to raise the bar, you know, to make the people understand that it's okay to pay more for a theme, or maybe, I don't know, to not charge from initial price more from a theme, but somehow make that customers pay for something else, like for some simple services, for some add-ons and stuff like that. For example, in this screenshot, you can see that we used to offer free installations in the price of a theme for 69. And then we simply decided, no, we don't have to do this, because even if it sounds like a simple process, sometimes it may take us like a half an hour. So we decided, let's charge for this and convert it into a setup service for $99. And this way, the customers will be sure that he or she gets what deserves of that money. So when you are deciding to change the prices, to make some big change, I don't know, let's say you want to raise the prices more than 10%, yeah, then you really need to be prepared. You have to follow a plan, or I don't know, or to monitor everything, the data, the analytics you have, and see if you're making good calculations. For example, in our case, it was clear for us that we are in the right niche. We got new customers. It was a problem. We had the market was enough for us to still be in business. So I remember a few years ago we changed the prices without looking too much into the data or asking for feedback from us customers, and we simply put these numbers, as you can see, 75 and 125 for different packages, and it really didn't work the way we thought. So yeah, it was we had to quickly go back to old pricing, like 69. And so in this case, it's clear that we ignored something important, which is called like pricing psychology. So it's like there are like a lot of studies who clearly shows that you shouldn't risk putting such prices. You really should stick to prices ended in 9. And yeah, we did this mistake. Then we quickly changed back, and then the last one, in case last moment from your plan to raise a price, is if you can afford a price. I mean, you have to calculate how many sales you can lose, how much of the total number of sales you can lose, and still be profitable, or even increase your total revenue. So, for example, in Easy Digital case, there was like 25%, so they were okay losing so many sales and still be more profitable. In our case, we simply had to do some other changes. So, for example, after we first removed the lifetime support and updates for our themes, and we simply introduced annual prices, annual renewals, and every year we were just gaining new customers, and we are keeping our active subscribers. And of course, when you have a big customer base, you are more confident in changing the prices without the fear or the worry that yeah, this will affect, and you can just rely on working hard and getting new customers over and over and losing the old ones. So one moment, there was like this problem with pricing the themes or plugins, let's say themes. But it's hard to get out of the barrier of $69 or $59 for a theme. So we had to find other indirect methods to charge it, to get more from the customers. It's either some kind of upsells at checkout, like pay more to get some service, like installation service, or we started to sell different priorities services, like priority support, or I don't know, like to charge per usage actually. it's also an interesting idea because you can just provide, you can let the customers to buy one theme and create 10 websites, and he can easily ask for support for all these 10 websites. So yeah, we had to find different methods to be sure that we get our cut accordingly, you know. So when dealing with prices, and of course, when you want to change something like this, when you need to be very transparent, you need to take into consideration your existing customers if you care about them. And yeah, of course, every one of us does that. So first of all, you have to have a plan. You have to communicate. If it's a big raise, if it's a huge increase in price, you have to communicate with your customers. You have to inform them. You have, for example, you have to assure existing customers that they are not going to be affected, or even if they will be affected, you need to let them feel important. You need to give them options, like maybe reward them to make them feel different than new customers. So yeah, like even, for example, if you don't want to push them to switch to a new pricing model, or for example, I don't know, you can give them the option, keep your old pricing, but also you are free to support our business, and maybe, yeah, you can upgrade and pay more than before, even if you are not, yeah, you're not obliged to do that. And I don't know, yeah, you need to communicate, to provide value, to show that, to justify the raise. You don't have, you can just simply raise the prices just because it's something that you want to do it. You need to make more updates to, for example, if you hire more staff in your team, you can show that, look, for example, our cost increased, we are going to improve the product, we are going to make more updates, yeah, we're going to release more, I don't know, like add-ons or so. So as long as the customers is going to benefit from this price raise, I don't see any reason for them to not follow and to understand in the end, you are running a business. So it is something normal, time from time, to raise your prices, to increase the prices. And to make a summary of what I said until now, here are my tips, like to prepare properly, to be prepared when you want to prepare to raise the prices for a product. I don't know, maybe it's a WordPress product, it's a plugin or service or a theme you are building and selling online, or maybe something else. So I think it's important to plan everything ahead and to rely on exact data, to follow some good practices that everyone like recommends, like depending on how to price correctly the product, how to, I don't know, to remove, to design your pricing page, for example, to remove all kind of distractions. So to make sure your checkout process is very good, optimized. You don't have to underestimate your service or product. As long as you are fully confident in your product and you can tell this to your customers, they will understand you, and you will attract customers who share the same values as you. For example, if you are starting something new, you can start with a lower price, and when you have enough customers, you can just easily raise every like half a year or a year, slowly, let's say 5%, then 10%, or so on. So last recommendation is to always, as I said before, to end your prices with a number 9. Yeah, because this is really helpful. And for example, here's some interesting comparison. For example, 85% fewer customers to support, and it still brings more money on a monthly basis. Charge more. If you're looking at this screenshot, you can see that there's a startup called Biometrics. They offer all kind of analytics for Stripe payments. So with only 17 customers paying 249 per month, they make more revenue than having a lower price with 121 customers. So you can make like the difference. You can, I mean, it's one thing to have to support 100 or more customers, or comparing to 70 customers. So basically you get the same revenue from both plans, but the amount of work and the cost for support, and I don't know, like for all this stuff it makes it a big difference. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say today. Lastly, some more motivation to work hard on your existing customers, to try to continually impress them, to reward them time from time, because it's much easier to charge them more and more often, comparing to attracting a new customer, which where the costs are much higher. So it doesn't worth to take this risk. Okay, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my talk. And if you have some questions, I'm gonna make.
Yeah, thank you. Give Pavel a big round of applause from your home or office.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have some questions. If you have questions, put them in the Q&A. We have 5 more minutes for Q&A. I'll start with one question myself. You said mistake in pricing. What's the, and I know that a lot of people are scared of increasing pricing. That's of course why you're checking here. What's the worst thing that can happen? Is it reputational damage, or what's the worst thing that can happen?
If you raise prices too high, like I mean, from examples I've seen in WordPress, many times some companies will charge the prices without informing existing customers and forcing these prices to existing customers. So I wouldn't never do that. So of course, like at last I can find 2 examples who have happened to WooThemes, WooCommerce, when they did something like this without informing the customers. And then of course everyone started to like, maybe they could afford this. So in their case, it was a risk they assumed. They probably were prepared for this. So as long as you can assume this risk, it's okay. But of course, maybe the reputation is a little bit affected. Yeah. But if you're talking business, it's everyone's right. Yeah.
Thanks. It's really helpful.
I think you have to worry most about your existing customers as long as you keep them happy. Yeah, this is very important.
Perfect. Really helpful. And also not only for product, but also for agency and freelancers. So thanks. I have a question from Jaime, and it's how many customers upgraded their plans to the new version? And I'll try to keep the question short and you the answer short so we can do all of them.
We didn't do something like this. I mean, our customers were not put ever in position to but what thing we happen to our customers, like for example, the renewal rate time from time increases. So for example, when they sign up first, they have an automatic subscription which renews every year. And if they keep it active, they keep their reduced rate, for example, let's say $50 per year to renew and to receive support and updates. But if you cancel that subscription, then you lose your renewal rate. And if in a year we increase the prices, then you're gonna pay like 75 or even more, or even 99. So yeah, we kind of try to recommend customers to stay for longer with us. Otherwise, if you are canceling your subscription, it's your risk. I mean, we are informing them. I don't have any data like to see how many people upgraded. Like the initial question was, it was not the case for us.
Okay,
totally different.
Clear. But all the current customers are recurring customers, or is it?
I forgot to mention this because 2 years ago, I mean, since actually like 7 years ago, first we introduced annual renewals, but were not automatic ones. So 2 years ago, we introduced automatic subscriptions. So now people, if they have a PayPal account or credit card on file, we simply charge them every year to continue getting support and updates for the themes. And yeah, after changing to automatic subscription, our renewal rate considerably increased at like about to 75%. So comparing to 20%, which was before. Usually I share this kind of details on Twitter.
Okay. So nobody's here. Nobody's listening. Next one, Lincoln. Do you sell the setup service after a customer places an order? Something like an upsell?
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't combine them in a single payment. So we have to offer this after. Yeah, you can buy the theme and then you can see this as a upsell, like as a recommendation. It's after.
Perfect. And the last one, when you do raise prices, how do you make sure you don't go too high? So it scares more people than you want from an anonymous question.
So yeah, usually you can easily like calculate like easy digital downloads did. They like could assume the risk of losing 25% of the number of orders. So in this case, I also can do the same. I can calculate how many orders customers I can lose, and basing on the new customers, they could make the like adjust the balance. I don't know how to explain. It's simple calculations. Like if I wouldn't risk to increase the price for a theme when the competition is so like, is very strong. So maybe try to find diversify or try to sell something additionally to your customers. I mean, or maybe try to attract the customers like hostings do with a very low price first year, and next year you can do your game if you see that the customers are happy and stick to your products.
Perfect. That was the last question. Thanks so much for sharing. Will share? Can you tweet the slides? Is that okay for you?
Okay. Yeah, I'll post them. Okay.
Where can everyone find you on Twitter?
It's my last name.
Perfect. We will tweet it on the WordCamp NL account Twitter, all the speakers afterwards. So thanks again. Big round of applause for Pavel.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Good luck, Karim.